Thanks, Yolanda. Well, continuing with the story we briefly talked about on Monday, the new border laws, which is something being brought up in a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union as well as the Texas Civil Rights Project.
They argue that the new law violates the U.S. Constitution because only the federal government has the constitutional authority to enforce immigration law. Our Kristen Del Rio shares more on the fallout.
Senate Bill 4 is now law in the state of Texas.
On Monday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 3 and 4 into law. Senate Bill 3 will allocate $1.5 billion for border barriers, and Senate Bill 4 empowers state law enforcement to arrest undocumented immigrants and makes it a state crime to enter the state illegally from Mexico, meaning it will be Class B misdemeanor, carrying a punishment for up to 6 months in jail. Repeat offenders could face a second-degree felony with a punishment of 2 to 20 years in prison. The law allows a judge to drop the charges if a migrant agrees to return to Mexico. However, the new law faces a potential roadblock if the Mexican government refuses to accept certain migrants when they are deported. When it comes to Senate Bill 4, Webb County Sheriff Martin Cuellar has previously told KGNS his office will follow the state law. Meanwhile, in a recent city council meeting before SB 4 was signed into law, the Laredo police chief stated training would be given to officers on how to enforce it, but that they could face setback.
We know that people will stop reporting. And for us, our priority is the safety of the community in general, no matter where you're coming from. It's going to take a lot of time to be able to effect this kind of arrest or to engage in this type of prosecution. But more than anything is that we don't have the personnel.
Mike Smith from the Holding Institute says this matter will create conflicts among the Hispanic community and recommends to have any identifications ready.
Please have your paperwork on you. This paperwork that you have from Border Patrol tells you that you're allowed to travel within the United States, but it's also your new legal identity. So always have it with you. Don't leave any shelter without your paperwork because you're running a risk.
For Senate Bill 3, Tricia Cortez with the No Border Wall Coalition says a border barrier along the Rio Grande riverbanks could have massive consequences, such as water pollution, ecosystem damages, and can mean a devastating hit for private landowners.
One thing that's so tragic about this is that the governor uses places like ours, and he takes private property owners, all of the public lands owned by the city, by the community college, and just wants to commandeer and take them over.
Those who supported the new law says it's a beneficial way to enhance border security. The law is set to take effect in March of 2024, though that could change depending on the outcome of lawsuits that are expected to be filed against it. For KGNS News, I'm Christian Del Rio.
Thank you, Christian. Meanwhile, the new law prohibits police from arresting migrants in public or even private schools, as well as churches and other places of worship, healthcare facilities, and facilities that provide forensic medical examinations to sexual assault survivors. Now, the bill does not prohibit arrests on colleges or university campuses.